Presenting Lord Ha Fresh. And I do think you might like it. Was is Faust? What else can we ask a guy from the 19th century? Please like and subscribe. Hit that like button because your support keeps this channel going. This is Lord Haha, and we're interviewing Wolfgang Goethe tonight. We're going to be asking him some metaphysical questions and maybe crack a few jokes. Keep it light, not too heavy, because I know his book plays are really heavy. I mean, Faust.
I had the hardest time reading his book, Faust.
Hi there, welcome Wolfgang Goethe. You didn't think you'd make it to the 21st century now, did you? Yeah, hello. I really didn't think I would make it to the 21st century, as you seen around somewhere in the air, and suddenly you pulled me for this interview. It's kind of ghostly, huh? Something like Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. I was reading that one, but of course he was after me when we were both dead. Yeah, I see the 21st century, and I think you saw my play through the internet. I mean, you bought the tickets? Oh, no, but I did hear about the play on the internet, and that's how I found out it's happening in Dornach, in Switzerland. Cool, spending time in Switzerland, Dornach, and in the Goetheanum, which was built in your memory, Goethe. Yeah, of course, and this is the fantastic thing about the 21st century. Yes, I think you are slightly disappointed by the intellectual content that the people have in this fast national life. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I called you, Goethe. We see Europe advance, but very slowly after the Second World War. I mean, you know what happened. Of course, I know what happened with Hitler and all that. It was a catastrophe for Germany, but they wanted to do something great. It was unglaublich, but it was their desire. Like in my Faust, you examine Dr. Faust falls in love with this girl, and it leads to the underworld, the Teufel, Mephistopheles, the deal with the devil, yeah? And that's why I think even Nazi Germany, it was a bit of like a Mephisto story. I found it very curious how the Germans went in their own way towards Mephisto and signed a deal with the devil. Then I saw the movie. The devil is like, he's always there, yeah? The vanity is my favorite sin, that somewhere along the way he will get you if he wants to. So this is a concept that I was exploring in my book. People were very interested, especially at that time, 200-300 years ago when I wrote it. They were interested where they're going, if the church doesn't help them, they're Protestants, and then what's going to happen to them, and where is their soul going after the Sterben, yeah? After you die and your soul, where is it going to go? Was what the people wanted to know. And this is why my book was a smash hit, because people saw themselves also falling in love and all these conflicting thoughts that a human being has. And then the decision was this Dein Entscheidung. That was yeah, I get that, and I read it, realized that Christopher Marlowe had written a previous version of it too. The original version, or maybe he copied Germanic folklore, and maybe that's what he got. Yeah, doch, exactly. It was an old German story that Christopher Marlowe took to England, and where he's supposed to have been the original writer for even the William Shakespeare stories, but we don't know that. And then I copy him, but I make a real deep one, yeah. I mean, Christopher Marlowe, he write this big, but mine is a little schwieriger, yeah, tiefer, harder. Yes, of course, yours is a masterpiece. Did you check out the TV programming on German state TV, like Deutsche Welle, and I think you also have CNN? Yeah, doch, I checked out Deutsche Welle, it was a good one, The Spiegel, and a few other newspapers, and it's not much changed. I mean, the format has changed, but it's still the same. The Germans overall are still tiefer there. But of course, when I got to CNN and American TV, it was as ludicrous that they're really in it to sell you, what we used to have 200-300 years ago was that traveling theater. He would whip out a few puppets, and here you go, and tell you a story and entertain the children and, the street people, and he would make a few coins, and then he would be off on his way. And that's what CNN reminds me, and even BBC. It's gone down the quality of what the British usually were about since William Shakespeare. What do you think of where we're headed, the technology and Europe Europeans, of course, I've changed them dramatically. I think I succeeded. Less superstitious about the heaven and hell bullshit. Germans and Europeans stopped thinking about this nonsense. But for example, then I look at Asia, I find it a mess, and they are still very religious there. You know, it's unglaublich. They still believe in the heaven and hell, Himmel and Hölle stories, and you know, they are committing all sorts of murders, suicide bombings, and for heaven and hell. And this is exactly what I write about in my Goethe Faust. That what is Faust? What is it to be Faust? Also, kind of what is in Faust? He murders Gretchen's brother, but it's all out of love. I mean, you can't really blame him eventually, but it's still a murder. That's what the Arabs don't understand. They think their passions will be rewarded by heaven and hell, but they don't understand that this is their own hell they create here, and they persist with their old medieval philosophy, which they have not been able to reform. Yes, I think you were a very big part of the Reformation. I mean, even though it started in the 15th, 16th century, the Reformation, but I think you nailed the final nail into the coffin. Yeah, well, it was my intention, of course, to make people more intelligent and have a better life. The sensuality, as Nietzsche, my friend, wrote, you know, let's have a sensuous life. You know, why not seize everything what you have here, take it, hold it, feel it, you know, enjoy the art versus denying yourself. No, I will be fasting, I'm not going to be eating, it is for God, or I will kill this animal. This is not necessary, all these theatrics, you know, it's a normal life. And maybe if you want to wear fancy clothes, maybe the burqa or that hijab, I mean, you know, you wear it in theater. Of course, we love theater, we love costumes, and you know, I always had my actors wearing the best of costumes, but in everyday life, you want to make a theater out of it, it's nice if you don't take it too seriously. Yes, I think you've explored it very well there. But we see in Asia a lot of religious people. Yeah, doch, that's why a coincidence, but after my Goethe, you know, it was a time for spectacular inventions in Germany. The 19th century was a fantastic time. Aniline dyes, we had the concept, benzene ring, diesel engine, rocket engine, petrol engine, because we all have limited time in our minds and thoughts, and if we are consumed by guilt over a previous action, then we are going to be stuck like Faust, always expecting to be punished, being in church for confession, or wasting your time essentially, you know, when you can be doing higher things, studying physics, making rockets work, and something new. I was quite disappointed to see that Asia has produced nothing new. What I read last was that Samsung was being sued by Apple, and Apple won the case that they are all these Asians are copycats, and the whole Chinese have copied everything. Wow, you are really in touch with everything, aren't you, Goethe? Even though you're dead. Yeah, but when you're dead, you have access to much more. You know, your library just gets a lot bigger. It's not that small, and all information is available to you, as you know, through the UDS, the Universal Data System. Oh yes, I explored that in my books. Demonic Internet, the hidden dimensions. Metaphysically, you can access what Blavatsky said, right? Yeah, doch, Blavatsky, she's a good girl. I meet her yesterday. Oh, she's happening. I mean, look, she's writing some more stuff. I will say hi to her. She's one of my favorite authors, Elena Petrova Blavatsky. What do you see the future as a dead guy? I mean, can you see anything more than us? I can't tell you if I wanted to. I'd have to kill you if I told you. That's an old one, yeah? But I have to tell this story that it's all a game, my friends. You can't get too serious, you know? But now this, at least I agree with the mainstream religions that you all have fostered. The reality is that it's all a dream, my friends. There is nothing real. It's all a big joke. The more you think it's real and the more serious you take it, karma has a way of coming and making it more serious for you. The guy who laughs and walks away, till the end, he's laughing, yeah? The dog who runs and plays happily is still going to do that till the last day. But the one who's so worried, yeah, who's always so Angst, so viel Angst hast, I would say take a mushroom or something, you know, because it's not worth it to be so serious in life. I mean, do the work, yeah, of course, you must be serious because you're providing material for the others, yeah? For the rest of the people, for your friends, for people to read your material. If it's good quality, it will help them, not just you, and not sell a few copies, but it will genuinely help them. And Hilfe, that's the best part you can do, is to help other people because they're on the same journey as you are. Maybe a little more misguided in Asia and Africa, but you know, they are still okay. Yeah, that's another concept that we're not so free anymore to be able to say all that, talk about Asians and Africans anymore because we've had this media clampdown. No books get published that are politically incorrect anymore. Ja, doch, we had these problems, but you have to be brave. You can't be idiot. For example, if I bowed to the Catholic Church or the Protestant Church, so you must write something deeper. I mean, you read about philosopher Terence McKenna. I mean, he was a very subversive guy trying to bring down mainstream American thought also. People asked him that you are talking about drugs all the time and why don't the FBI arrest you? Because Terence McKenna says, yeah, because you know why? So intellectually, is the FBI, if they read it also, they don't understand what I write. So I don't get arrested like this. Yeah, I remember Terence saying that on the internet in one of his programs one of his lectures in California, It was so funny. Terence would always be like, oh, the front row, the guys you sitting over here, I know you all came in your Mercedes and your Porsche and whatever. I mean, you bought tickets and you're supporting, that's great, but you guys have no idea of not being bourgeois. Obviously, Terence was no hypocrite. Terence McKenna would see the bourgeois with eyes lit up. Oh my God, and here's my wallet. And he was honest though. He said, it's all nice, but don't expect me to really respect you because you're bourgeoisie. And that's a very interesting concept that he kept it real till the very end. And they didn't get offended because he said it in such a nice way that you can't get offended. And the bourgeoisie realize that they're bourgeois. That's the biggest joke. That's why I buy all the $1 million paintings and all that, because they're trying to get a piece of art and escape from their bourgeoisness. Oh, doch, you're right there, yeah. You're very right. It was the bourgeois aristocrats who supported me also. Goethe, Wolfgang Goethe. It was very difficult to earn the money, but it was the Kaisers and, the kings and the nobles, and they gave me a lot of money. And they commissioned me in the royal court, and this is one of the ways that we made the money, all of them, Mozart and everybody. We all made the money through the bourgeois and the aristocrat. Peace of our minds, of the shamanistic life, because, we were shamans, for the people, that we could see something more that they couldn't see, and they wanted to buy it because that's all they had is the money, but they couldn't touch what we were seeing. And it's not for everybody, I'll tell you that. You know it too, right? Yeah, well, but a little bit, since I'm a writer and, you have to spend time writing, perfecting your art. You miss out on economic opportunities and you end up a little poorer, right? And you're having so much fun in your art that you don't worry about the economic, right, Goethe? Ja, doch. I think I spent most of my life with the books and writing and sitting inside in contemplative situations rather than make the money. Of course, that's so boring also, right? We wouldn't want to do that all your life, but most people do it every day. They have to get up in the morning, ja, weiter, los, ja. Spät, oder? Ja, you're late. You have to keep moving, ja. Like a shark, sink or swim. And that's, of course, a boring situation for the artist, but maybe for the bourgeoisie, it's desirable because I think they push each other, the bourgeois. What advice do you have for the German people or the Europeans or even the Asians who are ready for the knowledge, Oh, doch, well, I already told you, it's all bullshit, it's all a Maya. There's nothing really so important in this life. Man has taken himself to be too important. We are just another species, another animal. We get hungry, we go to the toilet, and we play, and we have fun, and, it's okay to be like that, yeah. But the reality is, art is the most important thing. Kunst. You must have art. And art is a part of life that you must integrate into your daily life. And if you can do that, then you're the man. Lord Ha Ha. Signing out and sayonara. Till next time, good night.